Kia ora guys, welcome back to the Black Jersey. My name's Max, I'm the host over here at this channel, and a big thank you as per normal to my patrons. Today I'm in Irish mode because the only players with multiple players in my starting 15 for today's video, the World Rugby Team of the Week for week 2 of the Rugby World Cup. Only those two countries have multiple players in the lineup. Yes, I know. There were so many amazing players this week. So many immediately just beautiful words I don't have the expression for performances. So I've chosen to select a bench for today's video. As you can see, I've got Sam Matavesi, Fiji's hooker. Maroni Maui I've also got from Fiji as the loose head prop. Franz Malherbe did a really good job off the bench, but I'm going to have to go for Trevor Nyakane. He was very good for South Africa. Nick Frost, probably the only Wallaby to improve his reputation after they lost in that game. Ben Earl, a real dynamite, real ball of energy for England at number 8 and at open side flanker. Very good over there. Cobus Reinach, hat-trick hero for South Africa, but there was an even better performance I'm going to talk about later in the video. George Ford, very good for England once again. And David Havili, the superstar for the All Blacks in jersey number 12. There were two other 12s who were better than Havili though, so I've actually had to pick two 12s on my starting lineup. Anyway, who do I have at loose head prop? None other than Joe Marler. Joe Marler is a very interesting character for England. He's getting pretty close to 100 tests by now. Got a game where he played 60 minutes, got 4 metres off 2 carries, so a decent amount for a prop, I guess, in the tight spaces. He got himself a turnover, won a very good scrum penalty, and of course, provided try assist of the World Cup, the ball coming off his head into the arms of his captain, Courtney Laws, who dotted it down to score a try against the Japanese, and that probably put the scoreline out of reach as well, so a real good moment for the English. My next video is going to be England versus Japan, so stay tuned for that one. Anyway, from a hooker, I've got Dowie Lake from Wales, the captain. He was very good, had a really good all-round performance, got himself a try, ran 38 metres off a whopping 11 carries. The guy's a very venomous character, there for a young captain. Really good in the carry, good defence as well. 11 out of 11 tackles, did not miss any. Really good defensive performance, and great to see him get a turnover as well. The line-out, I guess it wasn't quite firing for Wales, but I would tend to more blame that on the locks than Lake, because Lake has a good history of the line-out, so I won't hold that against him too much for Team of the Week. Tyg Furlong from Ireland though, come on, he has to go a tight head prop. That scrum was an absolute demolition job against the Tongans. Got himself a good scrum penalty, and, playing 71 minutes at tight head prop after injury to Finlay Bealham, that's no mean feat, so well done to Tyg Furlong. The lock also got an Irish guy, Tyg Byrne. He was very, very good. Got himself the opening try running a really nice line off a carry by Caelan Doris. So 31 metres as well off his 8 carries. Always busy, always destructive, always looking to get involved in the game. And his defence, he was the top tackler of the Irish team that day as well, with 12 out of 12, and got himself a turnover. He wants to be involved in the game, and that is how he plays. The other lock, Theo McFarland, gave a real good display of just doing everything in the tight spaces. Byrne is the man for the stuff, all the flashy stuff. McFarland, a true player with the tight stuff, but he did get himself a clean break and 26 metres off just 4 carries, so that's not too bad either. Got himself an offload and a try assist too, but his defence, this is why he's made Team of the Week. It got him man of the match against Chile, 14 out of 14 tackles and 3 turnovers. You cannot deny Locke with that much energy a place in Team of the Week. He is my only representative of Manu Samoa, who are definitely looking to build their way into the tournament rather than just explode straight away, as England is their final game of the pool stage, and I'm still really hoping they can take that win. Anyway, over in France, Sekou Makalu does wear jersey number 7, but I think we all know what France, South Africa, the likes of them do with the blind side and the open side flankers by now. Argentina also does it. Makalu was very, very good. 80 metres, 106 metres run, 1 defender beaten. He did have 1 try disallowed, but he was very, very busy and made a huge difference with Uruguay pushing the French pretty darn hard. Got himself 2 offloads, 8 out of 11 tackles, and 1 turnover as well. So a bit more of an industrious performance than his typical flashy, I'm the king of the bench stuff. He just did the hard yards and got the rewards with his metres run. The number 7, Levani Botia from Fiji. He has to be in this team because you know what? Tangi Valu's pretty good, Mata's pretty good, but Botia at 7 made a massive difference for those loose forwards. As he used to play at centre as well, he did manage to get himself 5 passes and 3 offloads under his name, but the breakdown is how Fiji won that game. Tangi Valu isn't a specialist 7, Botia has transformed himself into one, 12 out of 12 tackles and 3 turnovers. He was absolutely massive. He's the only Fijian player currently in the squad born in the 1980s, so to get himself on the pitch for 59 minutes was a big ask, but he did it, and he did it absolutely beautifully. The only reason he's not going to be player of the week is another Fijian player that I will talk about soon. Anyway, as for the number 8 Vaea Fafita from Tonga, how on earth did the All Blacks let him get away? After he wasn't selected for the 2019 World Cup, he just never kind of felt the same. He never really recaptured that form that got him man of the match against Argentina in his first ever test start in the 6 jersey. The Hurricanes really messed up trying to turn him into the lock, but now he's somehow found a home at number 8 with Tonga and the Scarlets. He got himself a try as well off the base of the scrum, showing some really good ball handling to get that done. 9 minutes was the delayed time before halftime. This nearly 49 minutes on the clock before halftime. He was very much a juggernaut on defence as well. Tonga, with the way they're structured, they were going to miss a few, but getting 10 from 14 is a pretty good effort from Fafita, and 2 turnovers is really helping. You know, the minute this guy came off, Tonga was immediately starting to play worse, and so is that a coincidence? Potentially. We'll just have an ad break before I go into the backs, guys, because man, there is some real competition for this back line. In at 9, I had to go for Cam Roigard. I'm sorry, Springbok fans, but this guy was huge for the All Blacks with 2 tries and 3 try assists within 68 minutes. Aaron Smith did not come on until very late against Namibia. Sure, people will say, oh, it's only Namibia, blah, 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 but this guy is very promising. And, you know, New Zealand rugby's not in too good of a place right now, but Cam Roigard, I have the full faith that the resurrection of New Zealand rugby, he will be one of the faces of it. 43 metres run as well, 6 defenders beaten, 2 clean breaks off just 5 carries, and only 1 missed tackle after his 3 attempts. So really, Cam Roigard just had a true all-star performance, having his coming of age on the world stage, and hopefully there's going to be a place on the bench for him against Italy, so we can guarantee ourselves a spot in those quarterfinals, because we really need to just have the injection off that bench as we used to get from other players. Over at 10, I've got to go for Rodrigo Fernandez of Chile. Chile, I saw them for the first time thanks to their qualification of this World Cup, and this is a guy with very good game management. He's not afraid to do a bit of the flashy stuff either. Got himself 63 metres run, 6 defenders beaten, and 1 clean break off just 5 carries. Was really trying to get things wide, trying to get Chile on the scoreboard with his 10 passes and 2 offloads, and he didn't miss the 1 tackle he attempted, so that's pretty good as well. I would love to see more guys like Rodrigo Fernandez in Super Rugby in the NPC, kind of liven things up a bit over here in New Zealand, because we can't just rely on Cam Roigard to have the weight of the entire nation on his shoulder. Rodrigo Fernandez, a very good player, love to have him in this team of the week. And if I didn't pick Makazole Mapimpi as my left winger, I think Springbok fans would get very furious at me, to say the least. I've already denied 1 hat-trick hero a place, so I cannot deny another one a place. It would be criminal if I left out a winger who scored a hat-trick, and Makazole Mapimpi in his 80 minutes did exactly that, and also ran 172 metres, beat 4 defenders and made 2 clean breaks off 10 carries. Was nice to see him try to pass the ball a little bit and not miss a tackle either. Pretty much had the perfect performance, a winger's dream day, and I'm pretty sure he's also still got that record of scoring a try against every nation he's played against, so that's not too bad, especially at 33 years old, which is very old for a winger. So Makazole Mapimpi really putting the effort into staying fit and getting the rewards for that, keeping in tip-top shape for his age. The centre, Joshua Tuisova, is my player of the week. No questions asked. He got Fiji's only try and was a real destructive player with ball in hand, getting himself 61 metres, beating 5 defenders. Also did make a clean break on the way to his try, which he picked out of the air in his 10 carries. He's also, though, a very good kicker and did make 5 passes, trying to get the ball wide a few times. Fiji were a bit more clinical compared to their performance against Wales, but this was a perfect game for Joshua Tuisova, who was huge in his 68 minutes. Apart from 2 missed tackles, he was a amazing, but at the breakdown he was always slowing the ball, doing a great job, and also won 3 outright jackal turnovers. Joshua Tuisolva, player of the week, no questions there for me. If he wasn't on the pitch, who knows how things would have gone for Fiji. Him and Botia made a huge difference. That's why he's in the team. And because of Joshua Tuisolva, I've now had to select Bundy Aki at 13. Robbie Henshaw and Bundy Aki, it wasn't entirely clear which one of them was actually playing 12 because they were swapping around a fair bit throughout that game when Henshaw came off the bench. Aki did get himself 2 tries, so he is the top scorer of the World Cup so far with 4 tries. Interesting to see at the centre after everyone was talking about the hookers and all the wingers as well. As well as the 2 tries, Aki has been a very good pick for me for my fantasy league so far. I've got the code to join that in the description. He ran 80 metres, beat 10 defenders, made 2 clean breaks, and was very, very industrious on those 15 carries, getting the ball out wide as much as he could with his 7 passes, and did not miss a tackle. I know it's a bit mean for me not to select a number 13, but you know what? This is fantasy rugby. This is just a YouTube video. This is not a serious team getting selected. I just want to shout out really good performances, so I'm going to select Bundy Aki anyway because no actual number 13 really stood out for me. Aki has to be in the team. Anyway, as for the right wing, there was a very clear standout that was Caleb Clarke. I've previously made a video on why the New Zealand public need to put more respect on the guy's name, and you know, he proved exactly why he does deserve that in this performance in a rare start on the right wing. He normally wears jersey number 11 but was very good at 14 as well, finally showing some improvement in his kicking as well, and also really getting the rewards with the try. 124 metres, 4 defenders beaten, and 6 clean breaks. Absolutely huge over there, of 12 carries. Was interestingly as well making 7 passes, and a bit of a odd thing for a winger. Wingers don't really tend to pass so good on him there, and only a single missed tackle. Are you watching that there, haters? Caleb Clarke has moved on from the defensive errors from last year. He's becoming a properly world-class player. Will Jordan and Mark Talia just so happen to be better. And finally, over at fullback, I've got Baltazar Amaya of Uruguay. Uruguay were really pushing the French pretty hard, and with Amaya going over the try line in the second half to get the dot down, that really opened the game up. It was going to come down to the wire for the French B team and for Uruguay, and I'm really starting to wonder if Uruguay could pull off a huge upset and manage to beat the Italians, because my goodness, that would be huge. Amaya was really good with ball in hand as well to get 55 metres, beat 8 defenders, make 2 clean breaks off just 7 carries. He has got a really good kicking game and a really good distribution game as well. All 7 of his passes were huge. Nice to see the offload, and he didn't miss either of the 2 tackle attempts. Man, there are a lot of backs in my team of the week who have not missed a lot of tackles, but Amaya, really good performance from fullback for Uruguay. He's rounding out my team. So as you can see, this is the full starting lineup over here for my team of the week for the Rugby World Cup's second round. Man, this is very interesting. It's very hard to pick, so please let me know your team down in the description. Just remember to keep respectful, because there are so many good players, excellent players that I could have picked, maybe I should have picked, but with how hard it was, I just wanted to go with my gut, go with my heart, and shout these guys out. Thank you very much for watching this video, guys. You can also support me over on Patreon, Instagram, and Threads, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers from Max.